Hi, this is Christopher Bruza. Welcome back. Today we are here with a Bushmaster XM15-E2S Dissipator. And this is a trade-in rifle from the California Highway Patrol. So this rifle was originally purchased by the taxpayers of California for the California Highway Patrol to use. Then when they decided to upgrade their rifles, whether because they were getting old or something like that, the sales entity that they dealt with took these in as trade and gave them a value, a credit towards the purchase of new rifles. And then they sold them to the civilian market. And I that's primarily why I purchased this rifle. I get a slight kick out of something being purchased by the taxpayers of California and put into circulation. It's no secret that California is a non-gun friendly state. And the people there elect officials who enact gun control laws. So by my thinking, that means the majority of voters in California do not appreciate scary black rifles. And this is something you could not own in California. It has a threaded barrel. It's got a heat shield inside the handguard. It has a magazine release. It has a scary pistol grip on it. It has a 30-round magazine, good lord. And I kind of think that's cool. I've had quite a few law enforcement trade-ins in my gun purchasing history, but this is the first AR I've had. The other reason I purchased this is I love the aesthetics of an A1 or A2 style rifle. Growing up, I would watch Vietnam movies, tour of duty, stuff like that, and I'd watch with my dad, who was in the Army National Guard during the Vietnam era, and I would sit there with a little toy AR, I'm talking 6-7 years old, and in my mind, this is a classic rifle. I mean, for you, it might be an M14, M1 Garand, it could be an M4, a SCAR, who knows? But to me, I see this with the handguard, the two-piece handguard, no rails on it, fixed carry handle, fixed buttstock, and it just looks classic to me. So those two things kind of attracted me to the rifle. Now, a dissipator, I don't know if Bushmaster created it, but they've made a lot of dissipators over the years. However, Colt also made some for the California Highway Patrol. I don't know if they sold them to civilians originally, but Colt did make some of these. And back in the 80s and 90s, Bushmaster and Colt were direct competitors. Bushmaster's quality has been questionable during certain periods, but back when these were made, they were premium rifles. The entire purpose of a dissipator is you get a 16.5-inch barrel, which is a carbine length, similar to an M4, and it is generally about as long as you can own without filing extra paperwork. Generally, 16-inch barrels, like this Colt LE6920, have a shorter gas system. I believe it's 7-inch gas tube, and that is so the rifle functions properly. If you were to take the gas port here, what's referred to as the dwell time, the time the bullet passes the gas port and exits the barrel, is very short. And you can open up the gas port diameter, but you don't have as much gas going through to cycle the rifle reliably. So what the dissipator is this is a false, well, I mean, it's a true front sight base, but there's no gas port underneath it. There's a gas port in here at the carbine length position, so the rifle is very reliable and functions like a carbine, but what you get is the longer rifle sized radius for the sights, and you get a rifle length handguard. Sometimes when shooting a carbine, your hand's choked up here, and where I like to push my hand out a bit farther, and this rifle feels great. The benefit of a longer sight radius, you could liken it to like say take the aimpoint T2 for example. It comes in a 4 MOA dot and a 2 MOA dot. The 2 MOA dot is smaller and allows for more precise aiming. It does not mean the rifle shoots more accurately or you hit more accurately, but the dot covers less of the target. Similarly, as you increase the sight radius, you are increasing the precision of your aiming point. Don't confuse that with accuracy, but you are increasing the precision of your aim. So let's do what we normally do on these tours, start at the back and walk to the front. We're certainly going to do range time on this very soon. And it's primarily because of the barrel. I want to see how this twist rate functions with certain ammunition. But before that, please like, subscribe, and share this video. It helps immensely. If you don't like the video, don't do that. Don't watch it. But if you do, please like, subscribe, share. It allows them to get many more views, which keeps me doing these. So I appreciate that. So there's nothing special about this rifle. It's all stock except for one part. So we have your traditional A2 buttstock. It's got some funky discoloration on the sides, and I don't know what that's from. These law enforcement trade-ins are generally very poor cosmetic condition because they ride around in patrol cars, they're handled a lot, they're put in and out of racks, stuff like that, and it's rough on the outside. But when you look at the inside, they're shot very little. The rifle's been handled a lot, but a low number of cartridges have been put through it. So like you look at the bolt carrier group, there's not much wear on it. You look at the brass deflector, almost no marks on it. The bore looks great if you put a bore scope down it. So generally they're very good values. But this buttstock's got some funky discoloration. Kind of looks cool to me. I'm not going to try to get rid of it. No idea what caused it. You have your traditional forged lower, and it's engraved law enforcement, government use only. Nothing special about the lower, but you will see it still has the department sticker on it. 575 AR-15, number 13. So Division 575 of the California Highway Patrol is Altameda, and that is southern San Gabriel mountain area. It's in Los Angeles, and which is where this rifle was issued, and it is one of at least 13 AR-15s they had. I'm assuming more than that, but this one is number 13, and I like that they left that on there. kind of in homage to the rifle's history. Just standard bolt carrier group, Blackhawk sided, carpenter steel, everything's staked properly. The gas rings are nice and tight, very little wear on the bolt face, and as I mentioned, almost no wear on the brass deflector, which is usually one of the first things that gets a lot of wear. The upper is forged. It's got the integrated A2 carry handle. So with the A2 sights, they're quite a bit different than the A1. You have a flip between 0 and 200, and then you flip it up to a smaller aperture for 300. Then on the side, you have elevation marks, which are supposed to correspond with the distance. So I'm at 800 yards right now, and it goes down to 300, and you flip it down for 0 to 2. I don't actually know what you're supposed to zero these at. I would assume 200 if it's 0 to 2. I need to research that. Regardless, just a aluminum magazine. It came with it. Aesthetically, it looks very bad if I put a Magpul magazine in here. I'll probably shoot Magpul mags, but this fits the aesthetic of it. It came with a rifle. It's beat up. It does not have any law enforcement markings on it. Traditional A2 pistol grip that's very polished from being held. Certain parts of it where your hand contacts is extremely shiny. I'm not going to change it. I don't like the angle of it, but I want to keep this rifle, as issued. And that's why I'm shooting it right-handed. I'm not going to change out the charging handle or the safety. It's an open-sighted rifle, so you're generally closing one eye, or at least I am, so I don't feel the need to shoot it left-handed because I'm left-eye dominant, so this is a right-handed rifle for me. The one change I made was the trigger. This is a Geisley SSAE. It's like a 4.5 pound trigger, something in there. When I received this rifle, I went to dry fire it, and at first I thought it was broken. I thought the trigger wasn't working. It was just a 9.5 pound trigger. I mean, that's close to a double action revolver. Completely insane. I know New York uses higher pull weight triggers because they think it's safer, or I don't know why. Don't know if that's what's going on here, or Bushmaster just issued these with 9.5 pound triggers, but not dealing with that. So I got the Geisley SSAE, and it's a decent trigger for the AR. I love it. It's 2-stage, about a 3 pound first stage, and then like 1.25 pounds, 1.5 pounds on your second stage. Works great. Coming up, there's nothing special. What's special about this rifle is the sight radius and what's under this A2 handguard. So, and as you can see, it has what appears to be a front sight base pinned just like the other, which is ground down. Don't know if it was ground down. It actually looks like it was machined down, but everything matches the way it would look if you did grind it down. It's not like the low profile sight bases we see today. So here's your gas tube coming back. It's pinned, and you actually have a little short gas tube up here. There's no hole drilled in the barrel, but that's to align the front fore-end cap and keep it from twisting. If that weren't there, the only thing keeping the fore-end from twisting would be the lugs, I guess they'd be called lugs, inside of the delta ring. And you can see it's the same length here. These completely line up. You just have a faux front sight base up here. And this is a standard government profile barrel. See, this is an H-bar barrel, heavy barrel. Some people would say they're more accurate. They aren't. They're going to heat up slightly less. Yeah, it's a chrome-lined, magnetic, particle-tested, stamped right on it, 5.56 NATO, 1 in 9 H-bar. So this is the only AR I own that's 9-inch twist. It should stabilize the 62 grain quite well. But I'm curious about 75 and 77. Some stuff you read online, people say no problem. Other people say no way. If you actually look at the stabilization, like if you go to Berger's website, put in the velocity, bullet length, twist, and actually your Kestrel will give that to you also, it's very iffy. It's primarily designed for the 62 grain penetrator. I'm sure it does great with 55 grain, but when you put in the numbers, it's in the ideal range for the 62 grain penetrator. We've talked about the front sight base. You get a bayonet lug, which California doesn't like, and a traditional A2 flash hider. So basic rifle in a slightly different configuration. Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's a cool rifle with a history, and we will get it on the range here very soon. Hunting season in North Carolina opens up next week with bow season. So I'm going to probably do a vlog about that opening weekend. Let me know if you want to see that, otherwise I won't. And I appreciate you watching. Please like, subscribe, share. Until next time, enjoy.